Well, I think that I think there are some things that are the same. I think that once we get to, sometime between 2000 and 2010, it's not really that we are seeing new genres created.
Okay.
New genres are popping up all the time from in the 1900s. In the 2000s and in the late 90s into the 2000s, we had some new musical genres, and a lot of the time, often, the technology would dictate the movement of there being a new musical era. Hip hop and sampling, right? Which I guess, that's also the thing that distinguishes house from disco, right? In a lot of ways, right? That kind of thing. So with that, I really feel like there's not really the exploring of new genres, but there are new bands and new voices and new sounds all the time. And I think that there's sort of the bringing together of different things, that's something new. That happens a lot of the time. I never heard this put together with that, and then you put it together and there's that. Now, so in that sense, I don't know that I feel like there's anything new, but I am going to speak to this because this is a thing. And sometimes, it sounds, I feel like anybody in their generation who grew up with their respective generation, grew up with music in their 20s or teens and 20s, they feel like there's no music like that. But I personally feel like the 90s and some of the 2000s, really, the acid jazz movement and neo soul movement, I think had a thread of positivity that was the undercurrent for everything. I think that with bands like Incognito and Outside and the Brand New Heavies and Groove Collective and, lesser known bands like the Repercussions and lesser known artists like Jaleesa. But this music at this time was so, it's amazing, but it was so full of positive messaging. Still, there's just a different thing energy-wise with that music that was constantly feeding us positive messages and this thing of being on something positive. There was a lot of, reclaiming love for your community, for your brother, for your sister, love for, different pockets of people.